guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm gonna make some brownies because it has been a long time since I have made some chocolatey, delightful, rich brownies, and today we're making some Snickers brownies. They are to die for. They're chewy, they're rich, they are, everything that's good in the world is in these brownies. They couldn't be easier to make. You'll need a handful of ingredients like granulated sugar. I've got some all-purpose flour and salt. I also have some cocoa powder. I've got some Snickers candy that I have just chopped up into little pieces. I've got some melted semi-sweet chocolate, a little bit of instant espresso powder, a couple of eggs, and you'll need some unsalted butter that's been softened at room temperature, or if you just sit mine on the stove with the oven on, it just starts to melt, because that's where mine is at right now. Let's get started right away. It's so easy and simple. I have my oven preheated to 350. I also took an 8 by 8 inch baking pan, sprayed it with nonstick spray, and put some parchment in there. That's ready to go. So now I'm just going to take my butter. Now again, it just started to melt a little bit because my stove, I had it on top of my stove and my oven is on. So that's okay though. It'll all be good. I'm going to cream together my sugar and butter. Lift that up. I also have my chocolate. I melted in the microwave until it's nice and smooth, and when it's ready, we'll keep on adding everything in. But actually, really quickly, I'm just going to stir together my dry ingredients with my espresso powder so that it's ready to go. I'm going to add in my eggs and get those mixed in. I did scrape the sides with a spatula just because I want everything to be incorporated well. And now I'm going to add in my melted chocolate that's been cooling slightly, because you never want to add really hot chocolate or hot anything to eggs because you will scramble the eggs. And if you want to ask me how I know that, because I've done that a time or two, and I am not ashamed to admit it. That's how you learn. Okay, I'm going to get all my chocolate in here. And then I just want to mix it all together. I'm trying to get as much chocolate as I can off of my spatula. Mix it all in. I'm going to scrape the sides of my bowl. And now I'm going to add in my dry ingredients. Woo! This is only going to need to mix for a few seconds. And once that starts to get incorporated, we will add in our Snickers. Now you can see that I have chopped these into bite-sized pieces. You can chop them as big or as small as you like. It's totally up to you, but I like them big enough that I can taste them as I'm eating it, but also small enough to not feel like I have a whole Snickers bar in my mouth at one time. That's looking good. I'm going to add in my chocolate. Okay. This is looking fabulous. Look at that. I just want to make sure that I get every little bit of this batter off of my beater, because listen, no point making some brownies if they're stuck on the beater. I want them in the pan, so they can go in the oven, they can go in my belly. I'm just going to give this a really quick little scraperoo from the bottom of the pan. I want to make sure everything is really well mixed. Making some noise today here in the kitchen. And then I'm going to pour, look at that. Really, really, really gorgeousness right there. You know these are going to be rich. You know they are going to be chocolatey, and you know they are going to be delectable. I want to make sure to spread this as thin, well, as even as I can. Not necessarily thin, but I don't want one part to be really thick and one part to be thin. So just take your time and spread this nice and even. Now, this is going to go into the oven that's been preheated to 350 for about 35 minutes or so, and then when they're done and cooled a bit, it will be time to dig in. My brownies were in the oven for around 35 minutes, and I have let them cool pretty much completely. And if you could smell this right now, you'd understand why I am so ridiculously excited to cut into these. They just smell fantastic. And this is why I like to use parchment, because look, you can lift them right out of the pan with total ease. How great is that? Now, it is time to cut into these babies. They are looking chewy. I can already tell these are going to be rich, and I know my squares, my shapes, they never match, they're never straight. But you know what? Let that be one of the perks you love about Laura Vitale. Nothing I ever cut is ever straight. It's always on an angle, and Joe always points that out, but I don't understand why I do that. but it's okay. It's all good. Look at these. Look at the fudginess. I mean, yes. I mean, they are beyond delectable. If you want yours cooked a little bit longer, you don't want them so fudgy, cook them for 40 to 45 minutes. The world is your pick, my friend, but these. As you eat, you can tell I'm really excited. As you eat, you bite on these pieces of nuts and caramel, and it's like the most fantastic flavor. You will go bananas over these brownies. When it comes to a brownie, make it rich, make it gooey, make it fudgy. The deeper, chocolatier, the better. That's even a word. Go to laurainthekitchen.com, make these bad boys, tag me on social media. I love seeing your recreation, and let me know what other crazy spin you want to see me put on a brownie, because you know there's never enough brownie recipes to go around. Hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, loves, and I'll see you next time. Bye!